folks, Like the Watcher here, and welcome to Buried Treasure. Marvel's Ultimate line. You want to start an argument on the internet? Just bring this up.
That being said, I've been a fan of Ultimate Spider-Man ever since I started reading comics. Now you may be asking yourself, Lack, why would you want to read this when you can read regular Spider-Man?
Well, let me ask you this. Would you rather read a series about a young Spider-Man facing challenges he's too young to experience? Or One More Day?
Written by Brian Michael Bendis, Ultimate Spider-Man was the first series published of the Ultimate line. And to many who read it, it's the best. So here's a little history lesson. Bill Yamis, a publisher for Marvel, had the idea to create a Marvel line that could bring in new readers without fear of feeling lost from the 40-plus years of continuity.
Fun fact, Joe Quesada didn't like the idea at first. Go figure.
While the series is successful, for most fans, all they see is a place for Mark Millar to write dribble for Captain America like, "You think this A on my forehead stands for France?" Or Jeff Loeb writing anything. But in Bendis' case, it's a whole different world. Instead of trying to change the characters, making them grittier and nastier to one another, Bendis writes Ultimate Spider-Man with respect towards the characters. All the characters are written well and believable, almost in a way as a tribute to Stan Lee's original intention.
I don't think there's any better installment in the series than Death of a Goblin. So sit back and enjoy.
The first issue begins with Ultimate Shocker driving around and causing chaos while being chased by the police. "You promised this wouldn't happen!" "Hey, I got us this far, didn't I?" "Hey, I got one! I got one! I got one too!" "Oh, but mine's a big tool."
Oh, but he was just gonna use that money to buy a pair of balls.
The guy driving the Hummer tries to get away, but gets stopped by Kitty Pryde. See, Kitty and Spider-Man had a relationship previously in the comic, but that's another story. All you need to know is that it ended badly. Peter tries to talk to Kitty, but she gives him the brush off. Next, we see a flashback to the climax of the Ultimate Clone Saga, and it's a good place to talk about Stuart Immonen. See, this was the first story arc to not include the original artist, Mark Bagley. When I first read this series, I loved his artwork. I felt like it had a cartoony, yet kind of humanish style to it. So when I found out he was leaving, I admit I was a little worried. But not anymore. Immonen's art style works perfectly towards the scope and emotion of the story. We see this is from the memories of Mary Jane. She was having flashbacks of when she was turned into Ultimate Sasquatch.
Yeah. Mary Jane is Ultimate Sasquatch. Bet you didn't see that coming, did you?
So anyway, the class is told that they're having a parenthood assignment, but it's not really going to pay off until a few upcoming issues, so let's move on. Finally, we reach the... oh, good lord, how do you... Well, I suppose it could be worse. At least there's no silent J in the middle. Anyway, we reach that place where acting director during Nick Fury's absence, Carol Danvers, is told that Norman Osborn wishes to speak with her. Osborn says he's ready to make a deal with Fury, regarding a tit-for-tat scenario. Osborn works for Fury. Osborn gets to see his son, Harry. "I want to talk to Fury."
"Fury's not here. What can I do for you?"
"Where is he?"
"Not here."
"I need to talk to him."
"What can I do for you, Osborn? We're very busy."
"I'm ready to make my deal."
"Oh, great! What deal is that exactly?"
"Fury offered me a deal. He offered me some privileges in return for my scientific cooperation."
"Scientific cooperation?"
"My acumen, my formulas, my brain. He wants my brain."
"In return for favors? What kind are you looking for?"
"I want to see my son."
"Harry."
"Where is he? Is he in this place? Where am I exactly?"
"That's confidential."
"I'm willing to play ball. I'm willing to take the deal."
"Uh-huh. Well, thanks. I'm gonna have to pass."
"Just give me Fury, you cow."
"You might have missed this part of the conversation, but Fury ain't here."
"But I'm willing to make the deal. This is a complete waste of my time sitting here."
"Well, guess you should have thought of that before you turned yourself into a goblin and killed people."
"Woman!"
"Yeah?" "Ooh. You still medicating him?"
"Yes, ma'am."
"Up the dose."
"Yes, ma'am." After this fairly intense scene, it's back to high school drama. Kitty and Peter have been paired together in the project, and Flash, being the complete tool he is, calls their child half mutant, half spasmo, a spaz mutant.
Spaz mutant? Flash, don't hurt yourself trying to think of something as clever as that.
Apparently Kenny, an original character from the series, feels the same way and smacks Flash and tells him to apologize.
Barney teaches us to be nice with one another, now be nice!
Back at the Triskelion, that place where S.H.I.E.L.D. does stuff, Danvers is doing a routine check on the cellmates when...
Damn it, who left the gas running?
No, as it turns out, this is Osborn's doing, as he's supercharged his Goblin cells. The next issue begins with Osborn giving a really cool inner monologue before finally making the big change.
You don't know me. You only think you do. Norman Osborn the monster. Norman Osborn the villain. Norman Osborn what? A cautionary tale? Whatever makes you feel better about yourself, Fury. You go right ahead. I can take it. Back out of my funding, throw me in jail, take away my son, send in your lackeys, insult me to my face. Go ahead. Keep me locked up in here, watch me carefully, poke at me, drug me. Go ahead. Do whatever you can to oppress me. Give it your best. Give it everything you have. I want you absolutely sure that you're doing everything in your power to ruin me. Is this it? Is this all you got? You sure? Okay then. Now it's my turn. Now I'm going to destroy you. Watch carefully. You'll like this. See, I know what you want from me. You want to know how my Oz formula works. You want to know how I evolved myself into my new form. How I turned little Peter Parker into Spider-Man. How I turned Otto Octavius into what he turned into. You want to know my secrets. But you can't know, because what is happening inside me is constantly evolving. I can feel it. I can feel my own cellular evolution. Tickle, tickle, tickle. You hire people I wouldn't hire to mop my laboratory floors to examine and test and drug me. But you still don't know what I've done. Because it's still happening. You cannot steal this from me, Fury. I'm something you simply do not have the capacity to comprehend. So you drug me, and you sit me down and you stare at me, while I evolve. You could have had this, Fury. This was yours for the taking. I wanted to invent your super soldier. I wanted America to have everything that I could give it. I wanted to provide you your freedom. Instead, you put me in jail and took my son from me. Are you watching, Fury? It's all about evolution and energy displacement. Here it comes.
Also, wait, am I on fire? Whoa, that's not supposed to happen.
This is when the comic really starts to get cool. It's our first time getting to see Immonen put together a good action scene. Plus, Osborn's monologuing the entire time gives it a real intimate feel to it, too. It's exciting internally and externally. Anyway, Osborn runs around the place looking for a way out, passing by the other escaping cellmates.
Sonic gonna thank you or anything? No, it's cool, guys. You just go your own way. I'm sure I'll find my way out. It's not like I put my ass on the line or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, it's not like there are thousands of S.H.I.E.L.D. guards waiting to blow me to Kingdom Come or anything. Who cares? It's fine. I don't care. Go on. Do your own crimes. You know, it's not like you can help me or anything like that. Ungrateful jerkholes.
After a while, he runs into Dr. Octopus. Norman, you look well.
Otto Octavius. Is he going to help me with this? Is he going to join me? Is he going to thank me for all that I've brought to his life? Or is he going to...
Dr. Octagonopus!
While Ox stupidly faces the giant monster out of his weight class, Osborn just wants to get out. I don't know how, but Doc Ock gets the upper hand and puts Gabby down hard. Ock is finally stopped when Electro comes in and gives Osborn a hand, offering his services as a full-contact yes-man. Osborn agrees and finally escapes to the outside. S.H.I.E.L.D. uses all they have left to bring in when the soldiers fighting Osborn are dominated. All they can do is get out of the chopper! After that, Osborn still manages to give them the slip, changing back into human form.
Oh, we suck at being soldiers.
Osborn goes to his lawyer's apartment asking for his money, and also to ask him to talk to his publicist for getting him a booking. And before you can say Charlie Sheen, he's on the news trying to make himself look good and destroy Nick Fury. Seeming to have all this down to a T, he plays the victim on camera, but we see thought bubbles traveling all around him as he mentally gives Nick Fury the finger, even going as far to say, "I was put in jail for trying to make the world a better place. My wife is dead. My son. My son." And then we see his eyes turn to another person, the titular hero, Peter Parker. And so our comic ends as we turn to Peter and Mary Jane walking in the street. They turn to a store, see several TVs in the window hosting Norman Osborn, and 2 words in the comic: my boy.
My boy. Well, there you have it, parts 1 and 2 of Death of a Goblin. Osborn's made a line in the sand, and all Peter has to do is cross it. We'll watch the sparks fly next time. As always, this is Lack the Watcher saying, there's good stuff out there. Sometimes you just gotta look for it.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spins the web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Spider-Man, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Weapon fame, he's ignored action is his reward. Look out. Here comes the Spider-Man.